Hello, my friends. Welcome to Been My Pleasure. My name is JC. Joining me today is my pixelated friend, hashtag Pimp Player for Life.
Yeah, something like that. That'll work. That'll work. I'm good with that.
And I have a letter, actually a question from a guest that I'd like to read them. All right, my friends, today's question/letter from guest for my good friend, hashtag Pimpa.
Sure.
Big Pimpin'. Why don't you have gluten-free items indicated on your menu? Hashtag Pimp.
Gluten-free. Why? Well, I'm just kind of going to go off on my own tangent because that's how I roll. Gluten-free items. First off, if you're trying to eat healthy, I respect that. There's nothing wrong with eating healthy. If you're coming to my particular establishment, there's nothing healthy on our menu. So you should probably look into the caloric value of everything else that we have. Even our salads aren't healthy for you. So, I mean, I understand, you have all these different diets, Atkins, Weight Watchers. With the whole gluten-free thing, it's a fad. I mean, if you have allergies and you're gonna die, I completely understand that. I don't want you to die. I'm not gonna be responsible for your death. And that's just something I don't need to be a part of, like I said. But for everybody else, like, you don't even know what gluten is. Like, do you know what gluten is? What is gluten? Oh, it's like bread or something, or it's wheat, right? Like, no, you don't know what it is. What does it do? Oh, you won't eat bread? Is that what you're telling me? You haven't eaten, like, why? Oh, but then you're gonna drink a Pepsi, though, which has like 300 calories and a bunch of sugar, which is what's really making you fat. So the gluten-free thing, it's like, whatever. I'll give you a gluten-free menu. But then when you ask me to navigate it, do I know how to navigate the gluten-free menu? No, I don't, because I don't look at the gluten-free menu because I eat whatever I feel like. So, I mean, I give you the gluten-free menu, the things that are on there, like, you're obviously gluten-free. You go out to eat probably somewhat frequently. So this isn't your first time you've looked at a gluten-free menu. So you know how to read one better than I do, so I don't know what to tell you. I know, like, the two items that are on there, but besides that, I'm not sure. Gluten-free, I don't know. I love my job, but it's with the service industry, it's a love-hate thing. So you have to love it, but you also the only thing I'm not very tolerant of is like ignorance, and that goes in a lot of different directions, and it kind of falls under one of those occasionally, depending on how you handle it. I mean, if you're respectful and you're just like, hey, can I have a gluten-free menu, and you look at it and you order what you want, that's fine. I have no issue with that. Or if there was one time, actually, I did get a little too comfortable, and I cracked a joke with a girl she was younger, she was like college age, and her friends were pretty relaxed, and we were cracking jokes with each other, just kind of being friends and whatnot, and then I said something along some type of gluten-free remark, and it turns out she actually was allergic to gluten, like deadly allergic. She was like one out of 1,000 people that could actually die from gluten. She also had 4 other food allergies, and so I immediately felt like an idiot. And I apologized. I got her a gluten-free thing, and I helped her out, and I was very polite the rest of the time, and I had my foot in my mouth and whatnot. She ended up leaving me like 30% at least. So it was good. I mean, I kissed enough butt, and it was sincere though. I did feel, I'm not just a dick for no reason. I was just joking around because, I mean, you have different guests that you treat different guests differently just depending on what type of, I mean, you're not going to treat a 20-year-old kid the same way you treat a 70-year-old man out with his wife. I mean, you could, depending on the establishment, but when you're in a casual dining establishment, it's more just like with people, you want to find a common ground or be something relatable. Because we're here to make money, so you want to find something to conversate about. But I'm getting off topic because I like to hear my own voice, so go ahead.
Pardon me. I hear what you're saying. A celiac, I believe, is what it is.
Exactly.
Organically, the chemistry of gluten, I understand basically. I don't want to go into it here because I don't want to be considered an expert on the topic. The important thing to take home is that we know as servers that 90% of you who are concerned about gluten aren't allergic. And we will be more than happy to present to you the information that says these items have no gluten on it. But harkening back to one of our very first episodes here on Been My Pleasure, it is your concern. And we want to help you, but you need to own your concern. You need to take personal responsibility for things that are your allergy. If you're allergic to gluten, As unlikely as it really is, or poultry, which happens, is extremely unlikely, or more realistically, if you're allergic to various herbs which are used in cooking, that is understandable. Lactose intolerance has its issues too. But there's a lot of people, and I know there's a lot of people, so there's going to be more likelihood, more probability of it increasing. But a lot of people say that they're allergic to something when really it just gives them an unsettling. As you grow older and mature, your body's metabolism changes, your bacterial content of your stomach and esophageal tract, and et cetera, gastrointestinal tract, all of those things change. So things that you could do before, like eat 5 cheeseburgers and 6 milkshakes and be fine, today you might do all that and all of a sudden you have indigestion and you're surprised by it because you haven't realized that you've grown older and your body is no longer able to just take all of that calorie and put it out. And yes, if you're gluten-free because of the caloric issues and you're eating a salad and you're worried about the salad stuff, don't get dressing. Oil and vinegar at best, lemon, all right? But yeah, gluten's a tough one. Again, most restaurants, in fact, the one we worked in the past, and we from time to time I pick up shifts where he's at, so we work together today, and there is a menu available. It's not a full menu. What it is usually a printout of the items on the menu that have gluten or do not have gluten. And if you're a guest at home, ask for that. Take personal responsibility for your allergy or desire more than most of the time when it comes to gluten. And if you're a server, make sure you're aware of where that is so that you can present that to your guest. Knowing some things, having a basic organic chemistry understanding of gluten and how it works and why peptides and flour and water mix and all that stuff happens. I mean, if you're allergic to gluten, you should know that intimately. And if you don't know what causes gluten and what items on the menu will have gluten in it because of that, that's kind of a you problem. We want to help you. We want you to be happy. But yeah, what he said.
Yeah, don't drop Mentos in your Pepsi when you know it's going to explode everywhere.
Thank you, #PimpPlaya.
No problem.
All right. Well, thank you for that. We got one more segment. Do you have any tips or advice you can give to our server friends at home to help them increase their gratuities, maybe?
As far as increasing your gratuity,
is that a yes?
I would say yes.
Okay, we'll be right back. We're going to talk about that. If you'd like to see what my friend has to say about that, click on his pixelated face to subscribe to this channel. And in a couple days, we're going to hear what he has to say about increasing your tip share and gratuities. Until then, however, if you've enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up. If you think that we should know exactly what your, what was it again? Gluten?
What was the allergy of choice? Gluten? Because it changes all the time. You're a celiac. Oh my gosh. Silly you.
Give us a thumbs down. Stop making fun of gluten, people.
Sorry.
All right. If you have something to share or if you have a question you'd like to ask us, by all means, leave it in the comment section below. However, until next time, my name is JC. It has been my pleasure.